Good morning, Professor Dershowitz. How are you?
Good morning. This week was a good week for the United States Constitution. The Constitution won. The people who try to abuse the Constitution on the Democratic side of the House and Senate lost, and all Americans are the victors.
Well, so many Americans can't understand what has happened, and there are so many lies going on in our country. And
Yeah.
I understand that none of these people, when they were lying, were put under oath. Can you explain that to the American public?
Well, I think when a senator lies, it's as if he's under oath. And, Senator Schumer just lied through his teeth when he described or misdescribed what I said on the Senate floor. Basically, he said that I think a president can do anything he wants, commit crimes, kill his opponent, tamper with the election, as long as he thinks it's in his electoral interest and in the public interest. He thinks that I would have opposed the impeachment of Richard Nixon. He was there. He heard me say the opposite of all those things. If a president commits a crime, he can be impeached. I was strongly in favor of the impeachment of Richard Nixon. But he and his colleagues got together because my Senate speech had been effective. It had persuaded certain senators, and Schumer just decided to lie about it. And it's shocking to me that somebody of his standing, a Harvard Law School graduate, the minority leader of the Senate, would stoop so low as to just make up a story. And I would challenge him to come on your show with me and to debate and discuss how he willfully distorted my statement for partisan advantage. He just could never agree to do that because he'd have to admit to the public that he lied through his teeth.
Well, it seems like there's so many lies in Washington that the average public can't discern. I mean, when Justice Kavanaugh was being in front of the Senate, there were so many lies about the man, and they all turned out not to be true. On the impeachment
my favorite lie was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my favorite lie was when Avenatti, famous Avenatti, came forward with another woman against Kavanaugh who never even met the guy. I mean, it's like the accusation against me. I was accused by sleazy lawyers by a woman I never met, and with emails from her admitting she never met me. And yet the accusations go forward. Lies are becoming so common in the American political scene, within the Me Too movement, exploiting people who exploit a good movement, the Me Too movement, Democrats who are prepared to lie for partisan advantage. And by the way, it's going to backfire. It's going to hurt the Democrats. I'm a Democrat. I'm a liberal Democrat. I want to see the Democrats win, but the Democrats aren't helping themselves. I think they need new leadership. I think Schumer and Pelosi have to go. Schumer, because of his history of lying. Pelosi actually called for me to be disbarred as a result of my argument in front of the Senate because I had persuaded some senators. She wanted me to be disbarred and then tearing up that speech and bringing forward impeachment on unconstitutional grounds. I think the Dems need new leaders if they have any chance of returning to power in a two-party system.
Well, Avenatti, that was the lawyer in the Justice Kavanaugh case, is now in jail. Isn't that true?
Well, he's on trial. I don't know whether he's in jail. I think he is in jail.
He's on trial?
I think he is in jail.
It's horrible that we put in front on every major channel all these characters that are not really telling the truth. Is there no vetting anymore?
I remember CNN once calling me in a panic saying, "Oh my God, we have to cancel you tonight. We got Avenatti. And now CNN has canceled me forever because I criticized them for the way they mischaracterized my speech in front of the Senate. So I'm no longer welcome on CNN, which means the viewers of CNN are deprived of the opportunity to hear all sides of an issue. They won't hear my views on CNN. They have to go to Fox and other stations to hear me, or on your wonderful radio show to hear me. But they can't hear me on CNN anymore because CNN doesn't accept criticism of its coverage on its network.
Now that it's all over on the impeachment, are the Democratic congressmen threatening to bring in more witnesses or subpoena John Bolton?
Yeah. What they're saying is double jeopardy doesn't apply to impeachment, and technically it doesn't apply to impeachment, though the spirit of double jeopardy certainly should. But they're now claiming that they're going to call Bolton. Of course, Bolton can't testify to anything, even if he wants to, that relates to national security or anything that involves privileged material. So it's not his call whether he testifies. It's the call of the executive branch of the government, which is the President of the United States. So I think we're going to hear from him mostly through his book, not through official testimony.
It's such craziness. On Friday, the appeals court dismissed the Democrats on the emolument case against President Trump. Is that a big victory?
It was a ridiculous case in the first place. It was contrived by my former colleague Larry Tribe. By the way, my former colleague Larry Tribe, who supported Avenatti for president. You really want to hear a guy with good judgment? Larry Tribe supported Avenatti for president of the United States. And he put the idea in the head of Pelosi and others to sue the president under the emoluments clause of the Constitution. Nobody has ever done that before, and it's frivolous, and the court correctly dumped it.
It's just mind-boggling what's going on. And I hear you. You were a Democratic liberal for all your life, and
Right.
What's going on now is beyond craziness. Why are the moderate Democrats, or the common sense Democrats as I call them, so afraid to challenge the crazies?
Because the crazies win. Look at Iowa. There should never be a first primary in Iowa. Iowa is not representative of the Democratic Party or of the country. Look who wins in Iowa. Sanders and Buttigieg. They're not going to win for president of the United States. And so what happens is the primary system generally favors extremists on the left in the Democratic Party. And as a result of that, the Democrats shoot themselves in the foot. If they want to win, they have to move to the center. They have to move to people like Mike Bloomberg or Biden or Klobuchar, people who represent the mainstream of the Democratic Party, not the most extreme squad elements that will destroy the Democratic Party, much the way Jeremy Corbyn destroyed the Labour Party in England. You'd think the Democrats would learn a lesson.
Does Michael Bloomberg have a chance of getting a nomination?
I think he has a chance if the convention is deadlocked and if the convention delegates get to really pick who the best candidate would be. I think he would have a chance. I don't think he will win enough delegates to get the nomination, although, you never know. With California and New York, delegate-heavy states, they could give him a big boost. But I think he wins if he wins through a tie among the extremists, and then the sensible Democratic leaders figure out a way of getting the convention to nominate him.
Alan Dershowitz, we have a minute left. What would you like to say on a Sunday morning to the American people?
Life's good. The Constitution won. The American people won with the end of impeachment. And the glory of our country is elections. So think hard about who you vote for. That's the key. President should be voted for or against in the ballot box, not in impeachment in the halls of Congress. I think the House of Representatives disgraced itself by its partisan vote, and I think the Senate did the right thing by protecting the Constitution. And so I'm proud of America. Our system works, and let's keep it working.
Alan Dershowitz, thank you so much for talking to the American people on a Sunday morning, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Great. Always great being on your show. Thanks.